When you're ambitious, you're going to hit all types of hurdles, walls, you're going to stumble. There's things that are going to pop up that were not there because you are being ambitious. You are doing new things, you're breaking barriers, and that's just how it goes. But there are ways to overcome the stress, the anxiety, the overwhelm that's going to occur throughout that process of you being ambitious, just because you're living an ambitious life. And so that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, if you see me looking down, that's because I'm looking at my notes on my computer screen. But yes, welcome to this video. Hello, hello. My name is Kahdija Imari. I am a self-care lifestyle strategist, and I am the founder of COCO Love. If you happen to enjoy the content that I talk about in this video, I'm going to invite you to join my weekly self-care newsletter called the Crewletter Club. So you can go to crewletterclub.com. The link is also going to be in the description box, but you can head over there, sign up for the newsletter, and you will get it every week. All right, so about today's message. So how to prepare for the chaos, the anxiety, and the stress that you're going to feel when you're living your ambitious grown woman life. There are ways. I'm going to give you 3 different things to be mindful of, and I'm going to give you, it looks like I have 3 questions in each thing. So I'm going to give you 3 tips, 3 things to keep in mind, and I'm also going to give you 3 questions that you can ask yourself inside of those 3 things. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing you need to do to prepare for the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's going to come simply because you are an ambitious woman and you are living an ambitious life. You got goals, you got things you want to accomplish, and you making it happen, right? The first thing you need to do is be self-aware. What does that even mean? So you are aware that you have goals, that you want to be somewhere and you don't want to be in this current place. But are you so aware of where you currently are that you're going to do the thing that you need to do in order to combat the stress and the chaos and the overwhelm that you feel, right? Because we're talking about self-care. So let me put it like this. When someone says, are you self-aware? Or when they ask you if you are self-aware, they could be talking about different things. You can be self-aware that, like, I'm self-aware that I am sitting at this table right now. I am talking into a camera. There's a ring light in front of me. I am sitting in a chair. I am speaking to you. I am doing my best to, have good posture. I know that before I clicked the record button, I was feeling a little nervous. I said a little prayer. I am self-aware that I had fear before I turned on the camera. But that's not the area of self-awareness that I want you to think about. I need you to think about, like, are you self-aware about your self-care? So here's the 3 questions. What typically stresses you out? You need to know what stresses you out. This is going to help you be self-aware in terms of getting to your self-care and how you're going to better take care of yourself. What typically causes you anxiety? 3rd question, what typically feels chaotic to you? So I'm going to give you an example. For me, I'm already feeling the feelings. So my note here says, lack of order or process or clear direction. And if you know me, like in real life, you know. This is me. Like, I start to get really stressed. I start to get a little anxious. I start feeling overwhelmed. I start feeling like, okay, what are we even doing here? Like, I start freaking out a little bit. And it would behoove me, because I am an ambitious woman. I want things to be done. I want them to be done well. I want them to be done efficiently and effectively, right? But it's not on me to fix 100% of every single problem that I happen to see, that I happen to be able to identify, right? So I need to be self-aware that this particular thing, that something being seemingly out of order, according to me, right? Seemingly having a lack of process, according to me, I need to know that that stresses me out. So if I know ahead of time, these are the types of things that tend to stress me out, that tend to make me anxious, that tend to make me feel like there's a lot of chaos going on around here. If I can know that first, now I can begin to do something about it because I can sort of premeditate, okay, if this happens, then I need to do this thing. If that happens, then I need to do this other thing. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if it does not, and I can help you further. The second thing you need to know your self-care, right? So you need to be self-aware and you need to know your self-care in order to prepare yourself for the chaos and the anxiety and the stress that's going to come in your ambitious life. If you want to merge the self-care that you desire to have into your current ambitious lifestyle, okay? Be self-aware, know your self-care. So what do we mean when I say you need to know your self-care? Well, what exactly is the things or are the things that help you feel calm, that help you feel relaxed, that help you feel, what was that in a movie? I think it was in a movie where somebody was like, woosah. But what helps you feel like woosah? What helps you feel like just a breath of fresh air? What are the things that help you feel that way? What triggers that feeling inside of you? So I'm going to keep asking the questions. The first question with Know Your Self-Care is, what helps you feel calm and relaxed? What helps you feel refreshed? What helps you feel at peace? Okay, so I want to further explain just a little bit the difference between what I feel is relaxed, refreshed, and at peace. Number one, at peace, I feel is like it's a mindset. It's a whole, it's something that kind of permeates your soul, your spirit. Like you feel a sense of peace. This is something that is radiating from the inside to the outside, right? But something that helps you feel calm and relaxed, it could be very environmental. It could be very much so it's helping calm you down from the outside to the inside, right? And feeling refreshed. I think that one is somewhere in between where it could come from the outside or it could come from the inside. And an easy example for me with this is like candles. Uh, Candles really do help me feel, I would say, refreshed, because it's like it not only can calm me down or take me to like a whole other place that's very, very relaxing in my mind, but it can go through my body. Like it can help me feel like I'm not even here in this situation anymore. Like I'm somewhere else. I'm on somebody's beach. I'm chilling, I'm relaxing, I'm getting a massage. I have just been teleported to a very peaceful, serene place. I'm in my like perfect little world when I smell the scents that are like, I absolutely love these scents, right? But that's for me, right? And I feel like I would call that feeling refreshed. Something, it can give you like a new sense of energy, a new sense of like whatever state you kind of desire to be in, it kind of renews that. So that's how I would describe feeling refreshed. So what helps you feel calm and relaxed? What helps you feel refreshed? And what helps you feel at peace? Answering these, you're going to be able to know what is self-care for you. All right. Then the third thing, in order for you to be able to prepare for the chaos, the stress, and all of that that's going to come with you living your ambitious life, you need to know how to plan your self-care. Now, I'm going to caveat this. I know I have worked with probably, I need to count it up, but I believe I've worked with over 30 plus women now. And many of them have said to me, they just did not think, oh, I can plan my self-care. Absolutely. We can plan the vacations we go on to. We can plan to go to work on Monday. We can plan all these different things. We can plan to go to the movies. We can plan to go to the football game. We can plan to go get our car washed. We can plan to do our laundry. We can plan a whole lot of things in our life. And guess what? We can also plan our self-care. We can plan our self-care routine. We can plan what is going to be a self-care activity that we do. We can plan what's going to be a self-care moment. We can plan what's going to be a self-care experience that we engage in. We can plan our self-care. We can be very intentional about our self-care. And I believe that if we do not plan our self-care, if we are not intentional about our self-care, that is one major thing that is working against us when it comes to us actually doing the self-care, right? So if we add it to our schedule, I was about to say we're halfway there, but not quite, because you got to put in that effort. And I would say the effort is probably like 75%. So there's that. So what does it mean to plan your self-care? Here's the 3 questions. What is the trigger to your stress, anxiety, or feeling of chaos? Right? So we're going to take the things that we talked about in Be Self-Aware. What usually stresses you out? What usually causes you some sort of anxiety? What typically feels chaotic to you? We're going to take those things and we're going to figure out what are the trigger to those things, right? So how I mentioned to you that I can start to feel stressed if there is a lack of order or a lack of process or a clear set of directions, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What's the trigger to that? The trigger might be somebody tells me to do something and they don't tell me the whole process, or somebody hands me an SOP and is missing a few steps, and I'm like, okay, well, how did you jump from this sentence to this sentence? There's clearly, in my mind, there's information missing here. Like every single thing was not written down clearly and concisely, right? So where's the other information? So the trigger for me might be I start asking questions to fill in the gap. I start analyzing and I start looking and I start thinking through everything that was said to me verbally or that I'm reading that was written down. And I deduce, if I was a total idiot, like if I did not know anything about anything and I had to rely on this document, if I had to rely on what this person just said out of their mouth in order for me to execute the things they want me to do, I wouldn't be able to do it because there's something missing. There's a step right here and you want me to get to the next point, but it just is not adding up. What you said was going to be there is not there, right? Me going through that mental process, me processing the information and thinking through, oh snap, that's not quite adding up. That's how I know when I start thinking, this ain't really adding up. That's how I know. As soon as I get to asking those type questions, I might be on the verge of about to be stressed because I have just now deduced there's cracks in this. Okay, like this needs to be fixed. And the thing that makes me start to get stressed is the fact that I feel like the other person should have done it better. Maybe I need to take on the responsibility and make it be better. I want it to get done. And so then I need to process through and say, okay, I need to relinquish. This is not the main problem right now. This is a sub problem, right? Like this is maybe this is a problem that can be handled at a later time. The thing that is supposed to be being resolved right now is not this particular matter. It's a matter that is much bigger than this, right? So I have to have that internal dialogue. And I know that was slightly off topic. I can talk about it more in a different video. But the point is, I understand what my trigger is. The thing that happens before I actually start to feel stressed. What are the things that happen right before you start to feel stress? Right before you start to feel anxiety? Right before you start to feel like this is chaos around here? What are those things? What are the triggers? So when you're planning your self-care, you need to know what is the trigger to your, what is or are, because there might be several triggers. What are the triggers to your stress, your anxiety, or feeling like there's chaos? What self-care thing can you have readily available when the trigger appears? Now, this is getting into knowing your self-care. I should have said this at the beginning. If you don't know or do the first two things, you can't do the third thing. So if you are not self-aware, and if you do not know your self-care, you cannot plan your self-care. Let me say, you can't plan it efficiently or effectively to actually work for you, to help you feel calm, relaxed, refreshed, rejuvenated, at peace. Okay, so let's hop back into plan your self-care. What are the triggers to your stress, anxiety, and feeling of chaos? What's the self-care thing that you can have readily available when the trigger appears? So let's hop back into the example I was giving you about me feeling stressed when something doesn't seem to be completely in order. So I think this just happened the other day. So I was serving at church the other day, and there's a new process that's happening, right? And I felt like, well, okay, where's the SOP? How are we going to get this done? There's a new process happening, but I don't see an SOP anywhere. So I asked the question, okay, how are we supposed to do this? Is there a particular order that's supposed to be done in? Like, I just need to know, because I want to do it correctly. And I also want to do it efficiently. So then the leader said, yeah, we got an SOP. It's going to be fine. I was like, oh, perfect. This is great. So then we get back and we realize I'm going through the SOP, and I realize that there's a point where we're supposed to do some other steps, and we're supposed to send an email. Well, the part that said send an email to this email address, it was like the email address is somewhere else. And I'm like, the email address is somewhere else? Like, we need the email address in the SOP. Right? Like, we need the email address in the SOP. So the trigger happened. I feel confused. I feel like there's a step missing. So I'm on the verge of about to be stressed, right? But then what can I do? Something that is readily available to me in that moment. What's available to me, and that does actually calm me down, is breathing and singing. So what I ended up doing was breathing. I said, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna let the person know I'm on the step where I need to send the email, but the email's not here. I need you to help me find this email. Boom. I did what I needed to do. I delegated, I asked for the email address, and now all I can do is wait. And what good would it do for me to continue to be frustrated or stressed or flustered about something that I am literally at a standstill for? I've done all I can do in terms of asking for the follow-up information. And so now all I can do to release that tension, that negative energy, that stress, is breathe. I don't have my favorite candles right near me. I don't have, typically I will have like some perfume or something like that I can spray, but I'm in a tight situation. If I spray something, it can get in everybody else's nose. Like, it can, people got allergies. So there's all these things. What can I do immediately right now? I can breathe. So that's what I did. I breathed. I said, it's going to be all right. I also have self-talk. It's going to be all right. This is our first time doing this. I can make a mental note. I can send the person a note who wrote the SOP, let them know, okay, this, and this is missing. I think that it would be best if we add the email address into here. That way we don't have to add 2 layers of things that need to be done, because this is adding extra time on how long it takes for this process to be completed, right? Things I can do in the moment, the self-care thing that I can do that's readily available when the trigger appears, is I can breathe and I can self-talk. I hope that made sense. All right, the last thing to help you plan your self-care is the question is, who can hold you accountable to do your self-care thing? Now, I would say that this is best for people who like really know you, people who it could be a coworker, like a long-term coworker, y'all been working together for a long time, and you have a sense of them and they have a sense of you, right? It could even be a boss. It could be a mentor. A mentor would be a perfect person for this. It could be a mentor. You can actually have an accountability partner, somebody that's unbiased. It could be a best friend. It can be, and you can also hire. I'm aware that you can hire accountability partners as well. This person can honestly be anybody, but I believe it will behoove you to choose that person wisely. They need to actually be a person of integrity. They need to be a person who understands you. They need to be a person who is not afraid of telling you, you did something a little off, or excuse me, I'm going to need you to do this thing right now because you're stressed and I see it all over your face, all over your intonations, your body language. Come with me. We're leaving. Nope, we're leaving right now. Okay? You need someone who is strong enough to do that for you, right? And that's all I'll say about that, because I can make a different video about picking accountability partners and things like that. But who can hold you accountable to do your self-care thing? I just said that I'll make a different video about accountability partners, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you know this one thing right here. You can't do everything. I know you're ambitious, and I know you're a woman, and I know you feel like you're superwoman, but guess what? You actually are not. You do not have the power to just fly off into the sky, to deliver the groceries quick, fast, and in a hurry, to change the diapers in 5 seconds or less. Like, you are not actually superwoman. I know we think we are. I know we act like we are sometimes. We are not super women. We need rest. We get tired. We don't have the Energizer Bunny type battery in our back. When we are tired, when we are stressed, when we are anxious, when we are overwhelmed, and we need self-care, we need to do the things that's going to relax us, refresh us, rejuvenate us, give us rest. And what if we just don't have enough energy, enough willpower to get to that point where we actually do it? What if we keep telling ourselves, oh no, I have time, oh no, I gotta do this and that and that and that. We're trying to continue to be super. Who's gonna be able to pull us out of that? And why don't we trust someone else to be able to help us enough to pull us out of that? Do we really want to burn out just so we can prove that we are superwoman? I want you to think about that, because I think it's very important, and it dropped into my spirit just now. We are not superwoman. We need help. We need to be offering help to other people, and we need to also receive help from other people. Not all people, but the people who are placed in our lives for a season, for a time. We need to be discerning and allow some people to help us. Okay, I'm going to review. I'm going to review the 3 things and the 3 questions so that you all know it again. So, how to prepare for the chaos, the anxiety, and the stress that's going to happen inevitably in your ambitious life. You need to be self-aware. What does that mean? Figure out what is actually stressing you out. what usually causes you anxiety, what typically feels chaotic to you. Then you need to know your self-care. What helps you feel calm and relaxed? What helps you feel refreshed? What helps you feel at peace? Then, lastly, you cannot do this last one until you understand and are able to do the first two. You need to plan your self-care. What's the trigger of your stress, your anxiety, or your chaos? What's the self-care thing you can have readily available when the trigger appears? And who can hold you accountable to do your self-care thing? All right. I want you to do these three things so that you can get ahead of the chaos, anxiety, and stress that is going to be inevitable. Like, I want you to hear me. It's going to be like it's going to happen anyway. So if you know that it's going to happen anyway, why not be prepared for it? Self-care is supposed to be the thing that helps you before you get stressed, before you burn out, before you end up in the hospital, before, you know, how there's preventative medicine versus, what's the other one called? Preventative versus, of course, now I can't think of it. Let me Google it real quick. Preventative medicine, curative, primary care, public health, reactive. That's the word I'm looking for. Preventative versus reactive. That's what this video is all about. There is such a thing as preventative self-care. If that helps you understand it better. You can do these things, learn more about yourself, become more self-aware, know what your self-care even is, what is self-care to you, what is relaxing to you. If you know these things ahead of time, then you can plan your self-care before you endure some chaotic times, some stress, and the anxiety that will come. It will come. It's not if, it's gonna happen. So why not be prepared? All right. I hope this video was helpful and that it allowed you to get some good ideas on how you can merge the self-care you desire to have with the lifestyle you currently live and merge them into one. Like, share, subscribe this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.